I'm Mike Hurd, I'm the Executive Director of the Sussex Innovation Centre. The Sussex Innovation Centre was created in response to a failing economy in Brighton and Hove. So the principal industries in Brighton at that time were electronics, manufacturing, which was tended to be moving to China and the Far East, financial services, which were going to the northeast and to Scotland, and tourism, which was disappearing to Spain. So really we had a sort of failing economy, but one thing we did have was two very vibrant and successful universities. A lot of graduates who wanted to stay within the area, but very few graduate jobs. There was very much a sort of freelance, creative economy, very much based on commuting to projects in London. Graduates coming out of university would enter into that drain away from the economy and from Brighton. There was nowhere for new startups to go. We wanted people who were doing something new. Not always a physical product, it could be a new service, it could be bringing a service from one sector into another. Secondly, that you really wanted to have that growth. They would want to find their clients across the UK, they would look to export. And thirdly was actually that whole aspect of ambition, that what you find is most companies will talk about growth, but when you get into it, do they really want to push themselves forward? Do they really want to take on that next level of growth? And what you find is many don't.
Thrive Map's an online platform that allows you to compare how your team like to work with how your candidates like to work, so that you can make better hiring decisions.
Ambiental is a data analytics company and a geospatial mapping company. And what we do is build very detailed flood maps down to the level of individual buildings for whole countries.
At MTech, we're making glasses that read the expression and emotion from your face.
When I arrived, the project had run out of money but hadn't built the walls. I had no receptionist, we had break-ins and I was having to come drive back as soon as I got home. You did everything. So I ran reception, I changed toilet paper, whatever was needed you do. And I think that was the type of atmosphere, because that is how a startup has to be. We were bootstrapping our way to create an innovation centre, and that was fundamental in creating the right type of environment, because we understood and appreciated what they were trying to do in trying to create their businesses. So there was very much a feeling of us actually all mucking in together to try and make it work. One thing at the beginning, which I think we were very fortunate, or I was very fortunate to have when I started, was complete and utter ignorance. What I've always looked to do is to try and develop the assets and the resources and the expertise to answer the questions that the companies are asking. We're treating almost the businesses as a generic problem of how to create a commercial opportunity out of a technical knowledge. What we're trying to do is to create a management team and a business team here. It is those practical skills which are often missing with the businesses, rather than more science and more technology.
I still use the financial mechanisms they gave me to this day in terms of all my businesses.
Claire has been fantastic in helping me develop the business.
We then did this market research where we spoke to, I think, 27 potential HRDs who could have bought our product, and we had insights from them written down and audio. And then I realized this was the most in-depth understanding I had of our market, way more than anything we'd ever done before. Their guard was down, they were talking to an academic, and they were telling us things that we never even thought of. So first of all, that blew me away, and it changed the way we approached our marketing messaging.
If a university is rooted within its economy, then it is a two-way process by which it responds to the economic needs of the region, and also it is supplying the right type of graduates and the right type of graduate opportunities for students in the area to feel that they can make their careers there when they wish to stay there.
We needed an expert brain on statistics, and I just pinged an email over to Lucy at Sync, and she said, yeah, I know a mathematician. And before I knew it, I'm sitting down next to Paul, and he's a mathematician, and all that because I was a member of Sussex Innovation Centre.
The access that that's given us to the professors in computer science, psychology, etc.
Being so close to Sussex University, we've taken on PhD students and used facilities there and got published papers.
Being on campus at university is brilliant because when people apply for jobs at MindLab, we tend to get graduates, really bright, focused graduates.
We have a tremendous pool of talent in terms of the graduates, the students and the alumni coming out of the university, which is very difficult for our companies to access. And whilst there have been a lot of internship programs, the way they're structured doesn't particularly suit the way in which the startups are working. There was also an issue in terms of the local economy and the university, that there were some really great graduates coming out that would quite like to work for local companies, but they didn't want to take the risk of joining a startup they'd never heard of. So one of the ways I looked at trying to create a solution for that was to say, well, what if the Innovation Centre hired the graduates and or placement students, and then we could then package them up in terms of meeting the needs of a company for projects.
And the Catalyst team have had a huge impact on the business.
We've worked with Lucy and the Catalyst team and had a great experience.
The Catalyst team's actually been a big part of Finest Growth.
They've actually brought their own creativity and their own ideas.
Did a fantastic job over several months for us.
Really good grads, from really good university.
People who've succeeded and who've failed will come up and say, whenever I was at a key point of decision making within my business development, you were there, and I could talk to you and I could get support from that. And I can come up with countless examples of people that either in a drunken award ceremony would put their arms around you and go, you help me, in that sort of sense, or just people that said, you were there. And that is absolutely key to it. And I think for the people that work here, when they have those moments, it's worth the job.
Like having a team of non-exec directors on your board. That's what it is.
If it hadn't been for coming to Sync, we'd be a different company.
I don't think we'd be where we are today without Sync support.
I couldn't think of anywhere I'd rather work than Sussex Innovation Centre in Croydon.
I have been nothing but delighted by the experience of being part of that environment.
I'm so sorry I can't be with you to celebrate all the fantastic achievements of the Sussex Innovation Centre over the past 21 years.
Happy 21st birthday, Sussex Innovation Centre.
Happy
21st birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Sussex Innovation Centre.
Happy birthday, 21st.
Happy 21st birthday, Sussex Innovation Centre.